Welcome to Nurse on Call. This podcast provides emotional support and general education from a licensed registered nurse. It is not medical or mental health treatment and does not replace care from a licensed provider. If you are experiencing a mental health emergency or are in immediate danger, please contact emergency services or a crisis hotline in your area. Always seek care from a qualified healthcare or mental health professional for individual concerns. Thank you. If you've ever looked around your life and thought, I don't recognize this version of me anymore. If chronic illness or caregiving has changed not just your body, but your friendships, your routines, and your social world, please take a slow, deep breath with me. You are not imagining it. Welcome back. I'm Mai, a registered nurse, and this is our space to pause, reflect, and feel supported. Today, we're talking about identity, but also about the social shifts that happen alongside chronic illness. In the last episode, we talked about financial stress related to chronic illness. Today, we're talking about our identity. Because illness doesn't change your energy, it can change your relationships, your community, and how people treat you. It also dictates how often you get invited and how often you're understood, and that can quietly reshape who you believe you are. How does chronic illness reshape identity? When chronic illness enters your life, it often becomes the loudest thing in the room. Appointments fill your calendar, symptoms dictate your schedule, energy becomes currency. You may have once been the dependable one, the social one, the spontaneous one, the career-driven one, the caretaker of everyone else. And now you're navigating limitations. And sometimes the hardest part isn't the physical symptoms, it's the identity shift. You may think, I used to be so different. I don't feel like myself anymore. That grief is real. Please know that you're not alone in this moment. I'm sending you healing thoughts and strength, hoping that this period of change brings you clarity, peace, and guides you to exactly where you're meant to be. Let's talk about the social layer. Because chronic illness changes social dynamics in ways people don't warn you about. 1. Invitations. They're going to decrease. At first, people may check in, but over time, invites become less frequent. Plans stop including you. People assume you won't feel well enough. And even if they mean well, it can hurt. It can feel like disappearing. 2. Being misunderstood. You may hear, but you look fine. You were okay yesterday. Maybe you just need to push through. And suddenly, you're not just managing symptoms. You're managing other people's perceptions. That emotional labor is exhausting. 3. Friendship shifts. Some friendships deepen. Others fade. Not because anyone is bad, but because chronic illness changes pace, and not everyone can adjust to that pace. Losing social connections can make identity feel even smaller. 4. Relationship strain. If you're partnered, illness can shift dynamics. You may feel guilty for needing help, frustrated at being dependent, afraid of being a burden. I want to share a story. I had a patient with MS who called, and she was younger. When I was talking to her, her tone indicated that she was very sad and was going through identity change. Gradually, she went from independent to being dependent on her partner. MS is an illness that attacks your muscular system, and eventually you will need assistance with activities of your daily living. At the end of our call, I reassured her. I sat there and I listened. That was all that was needed. Caregivers may feel overwhelmed. Partners may feel helpless. Communication becomes critical, but also harder when both people are tired. 5. Workplace identity changes. If illness affects your ability to work the same way you used to, that can shake identity deeply. Career is often tied to worth. When productivity changes, self-esteem can take a hit. You may grieve professional identity, financial independence, and external validation. That grief deserves acknowledgement. Caregivers experience social shifts too. Friends may stop reaching out because they assume you're busy. You may stop sharing because you don't want to sound negative. Your world narrows. And when social life shrinks, identity can shrink with it. You may feel like, I'm just the responsible one now. Isolation amplifies exhaustion. Humans are not meant to carry long-term stress without connection. Now let's talk about rebuilding realistically. 1. Grief that changes honestly. You are allowed to miss who you are. You are allowed to miss who you were. You are allowed to miss certain friendships. Grief is not weakness, it's processing. 2. Curate supportive relationships. Notice who listens without minimizing. Adjusts his plan without making you feel guilty. Asks how you are, not just what's wrong. Invest in those relationships. Quality over quantity. 3. Redefine socializing. Maybe socializing now looks like coffee instead of late-night events, short visits instead of long gatherings, phone calls instead of outings. Adapting doesn't mean isolating. It means adjusting to your current capacity. 4. Protect identity through small anchors. Choose something that is yours. A book club, a creative hobby, a weekly walk, a faith community, an online group for chronic illness. Even one consistent social anchor preserves identity. 5. Separate worth from productivity. You are not your output. You are not your attendance rate. You are not your ability to push through pain. You are worthy because you exist. And sometimes illness forces us to redefine worth in a healthier way. Chronic illness may change your life. It may change your schedule, and it may change a lot of relationships. But it does not erase your essence. The version of you that loves deeply, thinks deeply, hopes deeply, that is still intact. Identity evolves. It doesn't disappear. And sometimes illness strips away external roles so you can rediscover what's foundational. If you felt socially disconnected, if friendships have changed, if your world feels smaller than it used to, you are not alone in that grief. You are not dramatic for feeling it, and you are not forgotten. This season may look different, but you are still here, still valuable, still worthy of connection. This week, reach toward one small thread of identity. One message, one hobby, one honest conversation. Reclaim a piece of yourself gently. Please be kind to your body and even kinder to your heart. I'll meet you here next week. Nurse on Call.